Exploring your old Minecraft worlds is a truly surreal experience. It's such a personal game that requires so much creative vision that Minecraft worlds feel like a projection of the self. An unfettered snapshot of someone's life immortalized in virtual blocks. Okay, maybe it doesn't go quite that deep, but you get the idea. Some of these maps I spent hundreds of hours strip mining, fishing, growing crops, building, decorating. It might as well have been my second home for a few months. But without fail, after enough time had passed, those worlds would be left abandoned. Maybe I got bored of it and I wanted to start fresh. Maybe my life got busy and I just forgot about it. And when I dig up those old worlds, I'll always be left wondering what could have been. Where was I in my life back then? What was my headspace like? Maybe we'll find out by taking a look at some of my abandoned Minecraft worlds. At some point in 2010, I played Minecraft for the very first time. Now, this was before Minecraft greatly bloomed in scope and became the most successful video game of all time. This was old school, golden age Minecraft. It was before beta, it was before alpha. We're talking Minecraft Classic, version 0.30 if my memory is correct. Despite it being such a primitive game at the time, it didn't stop dedicated Minecrafters from making some pretty incredible stuff. But I was 11 years old. So the first thing I built was likely nothing more than a box made out of bricks to vaguely resemble a house. So cozy. Because I only played on multiplayer servers on Minecraft Classic, I'm certain that none of my builds from the time were archived, and even if they were, it's not like I'd remember the names of any of the servers I played on. The earliest record I have of me playing Minecraft was actually from a year later in 2011. Minecraft Beta had started to make the rounds, but because I was a 12-year-old with no purchasing power, I had to pirate the game using a sketchy link from a YouTube video. It was Beta 1.6.6, and it rightfully shamed me for using an unlicensed copy. This is Evan's Hotel, the first map I ever made in Minecraft Beta. The actual map file is long gone, but I've somehow managed to preserve this 10 FPS screen recording of it for the past 14 years. Now, considering that this is my first time playing Minecraft Beta, you might have some alarm bells going off by the fact that Evan's Hotel has a diamond block door frame. Now, here's the thing. I had come straight from Minecraft Classic to Minecraft Beta. Minecraft, to me, was a sandbox game about building with blocks. And you're telling me that I updated my game, my resources were suddenly limited, I have a health bar, and there are monsters that chase me around? Last I knew, there was world peace, all the blocks were free, and the only other entities were other people on the same multiplayer server as me. I was thrown right into the survival game mode, kicking and screaming the whole way. I just wanted to build stuff. Just play creative mode. It didn't exist yet. Creative mode released 4 months later with beta 1.8. So I went on YouTube and followed a tutorial to install the Too Many Items mod, which would give me unlimited resources in a gigantic list next to my inventory. So yes, my first time playing Minecraft Beta was on a cracked version of the game with a cheat mod installed. And you know what? It was awesome. Anyway, let's take a look at this Minecraft map and see what I ended up building. So there's the door leading to the outside with snow on the ground. Very nice. Also, the iron block flooring. Oh my god, it's so obvious I was cheating. Once again, mobs were new to me, so I wrote these signs. They say, for customer satisfaction, our glass ceiling helps us know when tarantulas are climbing around up there. And as soon as the sun comes up, we go outside and kill them. And then comedically looks up to show the spider on the glass ceiling. I guess I was trying to do some kind of like roleplay scenario where the player was like visiting the hotel and I had to give like a reason as to why there were giant spiders on the roof aside from it being Minecraft. At the time that I made this video, I was playing this game on my mom's HP netbook. The game probably ran about as well as this video makes it look like it did. Also, I thought it was funny that cactuses actually would hurt you if you jumped into them. There's a dedicated cake area over here, I guess because I thought it was cute that you could right click to eat some. I like the pressure plate on the counter, vaguely implying a sink. And the chest on the left, I explained, is an ice box. Use this as a refrigerator. Ours is broken. Like, how do I build a refrigerator in Minecraft? And you open it and there's just a bunch of random food items. Also, you can clearly see my Too Many Items mod right there. Why is there bone meal in the chest? That's not food. I love the effort put into making the little couch and a TV. It's very creative. I'll sit right here, so relaxing, bonking my head on the ceiling next to the torches. I like that I'm trying to sell this as a hotel, but there's just 4 beds in a giant room. And of course, next up is the basement. Head down the stairs and reveal just entirely dirt walls and floor. I guess I didn't want to replace them. Maybe I thought it'd be too much work. Oh my god, what is that? I didn't know how to build a nether portal, so I just spawned in some of the nether portal entities and just placed them there. But yeah, apparently that's not that interesting. So let's just turn right around and take a look at some of these chests. We've got Halloween decorations, of course. We got pretty rocks. Yeah, we got pumpkins, spiderwebs, eggs, of course. And in pretty rocks, there are just a bunch of ore blocks that you can't collect legitimately in this version of the game. And then there's a recursion joke, chests being inside of a chest that's labeled chests. And then walking into the nether portal, demonstrating that it does indeed go to the nether, walking around for a minute and then going back. But yeah, that's the entirety of Evan's Hotel. It is fascinating to revisit the headspace that I was in at the time, where Minecraft literacy was just not built into me. Before we go to the next world, it's ad time. This video is sponsored by FlexiSpot, more specifically the E7 Pro standing desk and the auto incline walking treadmill. A walking desk has been something I've wanted for a long time. I have ADHD and I would love the opportunity to work at my desk while essentially using a full body fidget spinner. And with how premium the E7 Pro is, I can't imagine a more elegant solution. I'm literally writing this script right now while walking on the treadmill. The benefits to a standing or walking desk setup should be self-explanatory. It accommodates people of different heights, no back pain, no squeaking chair, and it encourages movement throughout the day. You'd think the desk would have a noticeable amount of wobble, but I actually didn't notice any. Surprisingly, it's more stable than regular desks I've had in the past. It feels so futuristic, being able to impulsively convert my desk from a walking one to a seated one. It takes less than a minute to unplug the treadmill, roll it out of the way, and replace it with a chair, while the E7 Pro changes to my seated height preset automatically. The stability and load capacity makes my previous desk feel archaic by comparison. Like I can literally sit on this thing while it's rising. I didn't expect that to be possible. As for the treadmill, it has a built-in Bluetooth speaker, it has 9-level incline adjustment, it can hold up to 275 pounds, and it has a 2-year warranty. I've only had it for a few days so far, and it has already changed the way I think about my home office. I didn't miss my chance to upgrade, and you shouldn't either, so check out the E7 Pro and the auto incline treadmill on flexispot.com. They have all kinds of standing desks and ergonomic chairs to take a look at as well. For example, if you're on a budget, the E7 might be a good pick. Use the code YTE7P50 at checkout to get $50 off your order. Thanks for helping support the channel, and thanks again to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video. I also have another video of a map that I made like 4 months later. This one's just called Rollercoaster, and I made it in Minecraft Beta 1.8.1. By this point, I actually was able to get my own Minecraft account and play the game legitimately. But I love that creative mode existed, and I was just choosing not to use it, probably in favor of too many items again. This map really isn't anything spectacular. It's just a really, really long roller coaster. Made with minecarts and powered rails. But there's a part of this map that definitely shows its age, and it is right about here. It shows for like 1 frame, but I've freezed on that frame. I can think of nothing more 2011 than this exact screenshot right here. That is a stark reminder that at this point in my life, there were few things I was obsessed with. My hyperfixations from the time were Team Fortress 2, Minecraft, My Little Pony, and Nyan Cat. We have another very 2011 sentiment coming up right there. Totally awesome cave. But yeah, for those that weren't around during this time, this was the era of like forums and like rage comics. Rebecca Black Friday was a huge meme. That guy that sang that was a big thing. And you might be asking like, okay, what does all that pop culture stuff have to do with what we're looking at right now? I'll tell you. It's because I made this Minecraft map specifically to cater to the YouTube algorithm at that time. This was me trying to get in on the ground floor of the Minecraft YouTube video thing. I was thinking, if I make a crazy elaborate roller coaster in Minecraft and get a video of it, it's gonna go friggin' viral. And yeah, shockingly, it didn't go viral because this is stupid and boring. But 12-year-old me thought this was peak enough to upload. And by the way, this was before the Minecraft video thing became like way oversaturated. This was me trying to be really inventive. Like there's this part where you go way up into the sky, and I tried to make it look like you were on a cloud made out of wool. That was my way of trying to stand out at that time. The irony is, when I uploaded this video in 2011, it probably got like 19 views. Now it's valuable just because it's authentically vintage. Like this is old internet content right here. It has aged like a fine wine, I'll tell you. Not just because of the content of the map itself, but also who I was and the time period that I was in. What my motive was for making it, what the internet was like at the time, what Minecraft videos were like at the time. Okay, we're finally at the end of the roller coaster here. There are 2 signs. It says, "This is the end of the ride, please exit to the left." I remember being really proud of that little arrow that I made in the text on the sign. And then I jump into the ocean dramatically, and then the video ends. So there's a pretty big gap where I don't have much of my Minecraft stuff archived. The next set of maps that I have are from 6 years later in 2017 when Minecraft released for the Nintendo Switch. And all of them were preserved in the most recent version of Minecraft Bedrock using the Sync Old Worlds option in the storage settings. Milkshake Planet, the Pizza Factory, Nacho Paradise, the Nintendo Treehouse, Land of Sheep and Cake, and Mermaid Pie. I love that just from the names of these worlds, you can tell how much Homestar Runner I watched as a kid. It's the same surreal sense of humor I have now. I'm pretty sure these aren't in order by date or anything, but let's look at these worlds in whatever order they're in from the Old Worlds menu, starting with Milkshake Planet. Milkshake Planet features a giant cleared chasm of smooth stone with all 4 of the furnaces smelting cobblestone into smooth stone. Maybe I thought it would look nice to build a house in like a cleared mountain like this, but maybe once I stepped back and looked at it and realized it just kind of looks really bad, I must have given up and done something else, because I didn't get very far in this world. There's no farm, there's no mine, there's no anything aside from this cleared chasm and the furnaces. That's literally it. Well, so much for Milkshake Planet. The pizza factory has some resources, crafting table, furnace, and a farm outside of this weird stone structure. I'm not sure if I built the stone structure or if it's some kind of thing that spawns naturally in deserts, but there's nothing inside of it aside from a single rose on a dirt patch. Once again, I don't know if I put that there or if it spawned there. I probably should be playing on peaceful because there's like a million monsters outside of this little structure. By the way, I think when Minecraft updates maps to run in the most recent version of the game, I think it breaks chests and signs, because this was a double wide chest that has been split into 2 single chests, which I don't know if that's possible in the modern version of the game. As for signs, when you update the map, they just become blank. I'll show you that later. But yeah, that was the pizza factory. Moving on. Nacho Paradise has a gorgeous wood gradient to all the walls lit with glowstone. Oh, hello, 5 dogs. They are all seated so patiently. I love each and every one of them. But yeah, here's that bug I was talking about earlier where it splits all the double chests into 2 single chests, and also the sign that's on that chest is blank inexplicably. It's clear that this was the world that I put the most effort into, so it's a shame that the signs just weren't preserved. Based on the contents of these chests, I put at least like 100 hours into this, no question about it. Behind this door, there's a nether room. I always like to make a nether room because it prevents the piglin zombies from getting into your house. Upstairs, there's a storage room and a bed. I assume I was in the process of migrating all of my chest stuff up here from the bottom floor, but it seems that I never finished it. The signs would have shown what's in each chest, but unfortunately those were all wiped. There's also a maxed out enchantment table here with all the bookshelves. It looks really nice with the wool floor there. Outside, there's horses, donkeys, cows, chickens, as well as pumpkins, watermelons. There's an extremely extensive farm out here. There's potatoes, carrots, we've got wheat, there's cactuses as well. This walkway is really nice to look at because of all the farm stuff. There's also a sugarcane farm out front, as well as a farm for exotic trees. There was also this weird gadget here, and I have no idea what this is. It's got a dropper, it's got a crafting table, there's a lever there, and when you pull the lever, nothing happens. I don't know what this is. I don't know what I was trying to build, but the sheep seems very, very interested in it, so maybe it knows something that I don't. The house placement is great. It's right next to this gorgeous ravine with tons and tons of resources in it. The House of Nacho Paradise is absolutely beautiful. I'm very, very impressed that I managed to put this much time into this map. There's a couple things I left unfinished, like the stairs overhang on the left there, and also the upstairs area. Like that storage was never finished. But with the way that the house is built, like with the 5 different kinds of wood, it looks really pretty. I'm so happy with it. As for the mines, there are several. Here's the first one. I strip mined extensively in these. Like they go way, 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 way deep into the earth, which makes a lot of sense considering just how many valuable resources I had collected in this world. But it's weird to see the visual proof that I had clearly spent at minimum 100 hours in this world. Like I dug out this entire tunnel. And I did that like 20 times. And it wasn't even on a server, it was single player. I just did this for my own pleasure. I'm gonna be on my deathbed and I'll have this on my resume. Yeah, I played like 8,000 hours in Minecraft and I did this. I just dug straight lines in a cave for hours and hours and hours. For as proud of this world as I am, I don't remember making it. I don't remember what my life was like when I made it. I don't remember actually doing it. I don't remember any of it. I probably did like 90% of this while I was very, very, very depressed and I just had a podcast in, and so I was just on full autopilot. But ultimately, this is the dark underbelly of abandoned Minecraft worlds, where it's like, I feel guilty for abandoning this. I was abandoning all of the time that I spent creating it, and for what? But then you start asking, like, why did I even do it in the first place? Why do I even play video games? I have an answer for you. Spending hundreds of hours building a cool house in Minecraft is the entire point. Completely unironically, coming home from a 9-to-5 job and then sitting on the computer and playing video games until the sun comes up is what life is all about. This next map is the Nintendo Treehouse, and it is right away exactly what it says on the tin. It is a gigantic tree with a gigantic house surrounding it. Oh, excuse me, horsey, didn't mean to bump into you there. The most literal interpretation of a treehouse. So right away, there's a bunch of storage chests. None of them are sorted. They're all just miscellaneous. Usually maps that are a little younger, I wouldn't have sorted all my stuff yet. Whole bunch of furnaces on the right. Based on the fact that I had a lot of snow in my chests, I'm assuming that this structure here was to hold captive a snowman so that I could grind its snow. But yeah, heading upstairs. Oh my god, there are so many dogs here. There's so many. There's like, I counted 14, I think that's right. And right in the middle of everything, we have the tree itself, and you can actually go up in there. There's another floor up inside of the tree. There's nothing actually up there because what would I put up there aside from some torches to make sure mobs don't spawn in there? I assume this was an animal pen and then they were transferred over to the next door building. There's still a chicken trapped in here. Speaking of the outside, we have a basic wheat farm. We also have watermelon and pumpkins. And then there's this structure here made entirely out of snow, and this is the barn. There are cows, chicken, and sheep in here, and the sheep are starving. There's no grass in there. There's a very simple mine shaft and some strip mines, which, as you all know, I apparently love to do. But yeah, this world was really pretty. I like the transparent glass look so that you can see the tree from all angles. It's really neat. And the barn being made entirely out of snow that I grinded from a snowman is really efficient. So the next map is the Land of Sheep and Cake, which is yet another instance of it being exactly what it says on the tin. There's cake everywhere. There's a house that's made entirely out of wool and glass panes, and there's a farm that's directly attached to it with like a million sheep of all different colors in there. There's also some cows and chickens, a basic farm of wheat, pumpkins, and watermelon, a whole bunch of sugarcane, and over here we have just a bunch of watermelons shielding this giant cave opening. I like the pattern that you can notice here of me collecting a ton of a very esoteric and specific block and just using it in excess. This natural cave opening is really pretty, and you can see that it's decorated with torches as it has been fully explored, and of course I made a strip mine into it. As for the house, there's a tripwire at the door with no actual wire. Immediately at the entrance, there's a chest with food in it, and also there's just cake everywhere. There's cake on the bed, there's cake on the watermelon table, there's cake on the furnace, cake on the floor, there's cake on the dang bookshelves. These right here are literal cake stairs. You have to step on the cakes to go up to the second floor, which is just more cake. I don't know why I thought I needed this much cake when I can just look in the mirror. There's a structure over here made out of orange wool and pumpkins, and it's just a fishing hole. I also don't know how the horse got in there, but yeah, there's just fishing poles and fish in here. I assume these were creeper blasts that I repurposed into a little fishing hole. Yeah, this map was really cozy and really silly, and it was a pleasure to revisit. And finally, there's Mermaid Pie, which is just me exploring a gigantic woodland mansion. So for context, I didn't build any of this. This is a naturally occurring structure. I couldn't figure out how to get out, so I just broke a window and then jumped out. Like, it feels big from the inside, and then you look at the outside and you're like, oh my god. This thing's massive. So I walked around the entire circumference of the building trying to find any sort of base. And sure enough, right by the entrance was a little base. It's a really simple house with a... That creeper helped me find the entrance. Anyway, yeah, just furnaces, crafting table, anvil, and then storage chests that are not sorted. I assume I spawned near this woodland mansion, and I just dedicated this entire world to just exploring it because it's so massive, which is cool, but also it kind of makes it not that interesting to revisit, so... I think we're just gonna call it on this one. So I have 2 more maps from 2018, so a year later. I got back into the game because they had just released crossplay between PC and Switch, and that's really cool. But when I tried to open those maps on my Nintendo Switch, they would just crash my game. It would be loading the map, and then the game would just completely lock up, and you'd have to force close it. At some point between 2018 and now, one of the many hundreds of updates that has released to Minecraft since then has broken these maps, and they're just unplayable. Now, this Switch in particular is one that I've had since launch. I got it in 2017, I waited in line at GameStop, and I got it day 0. Although I could have modded it because it was a launch model, I never have. This one has remained completely legit since launch. I had another Switch that I would do all my modding stuff on, and that one's banned and it can't go online and all that stuff. But because those maps wouldn't load, I decided to take matters into my own hands. I loaded up Atmosphere on my legit Switch that has never seen mods a day in its life. I dumped all my save data to the SD card and then removed all the mods from it so it could go back to being legit. I took that save data and I plugged it right into Minecraft Bedrock on PC, and the same exact crash happened. And so that means it's a problem with the actual world itself and not just a random crash caused by the Switch version. version. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna run an older version of Minecraft Bedrock and see if it'll load this map. But Microsoft doesn't just let you run whatever Minecraft version you want like Mojang does with the Java version. You are only allowed to run the latest version and the experimental version. That is it. So I tried to use Bedrock Launcher, which is a fan-made tool that supposedly would allow you to run older versions of Bedrock, but when I would try to do that, it would get all the way through the install process and then the game would just never open. I tried it on 2 different computers and neither of them worked. I have no idea what I'm doing wrong. So my next option was, I have a modded Switch. I can just install a really old update file for Minecraft Bedrock for Switch. So I had to download a really old torrent of the game from 2018 that had the update file that I needed. It is unbelievable that I have to resort to torrenting a game that I own in order to diagnose why it's crashing. The game shouldn't be crashing in the first place, but this whole situation could have been avoided if Microsoft just let you select what version of Bedrock you wanted to play. Java had that feature 12 years ago! So I loaded the save file on my Switch and I installed the stupid NSP files and it worked perfectly. Both worlds loaded up with no problems. Now that this is working, let's take a look at 10,000 FPS under the sea. The base is a half-finished looking log and glass pane thing. It's like a half circle. I don't know why it's shaped like this. There's no floor, there's no ceiling, there's just this. You got the standard storage chests with signs that are actually working this time, some furnaces with coal already in them, and then you have round 2 of storage chests. And that is literally the entirety of the base. The rest of it's just empty. There's a shallow ravine out front, looks nice. There's a lovely birch bridge with a clustered tree farm that looks just frankly terrible. There's a gigantic sheep pen with a dedicated wool chest, a whole bunch of chickens, and a whole bunch of cows. And this is where all the fans of Minecraft Bedrock Edition live. Basic farm, we've got pumpkins, cactus, wheat, and yeah, more wheat. I looked around to try and find like a mine or anything, but I don't even think there was one. So I think that's actually it for this world. Now, if you're wondering, I did figure out why those maps were crashing on newer versions of the game. It was the texture pack, but not for the reason that you'd think. Faithful 32, the best Minecraft texture pack, the OG, was made available on the marketplace back in 2019. So I purchased it and I applied it to both of these maps. But it turns out the people that uploaded Faithful 32 to the Minecraft marketplace, they weren't the owners of the texture pack. They were just some randos that stole it and then put it up for sale. Ant Venom made a very good video about this situation and I recommend you watch it. Eventually, the rightful owner of the texture pack took it down, and that's why I assume these maps wouldn't load anymore, is because it would do some kind of check on the resource pack to make sure it was valid, but because it was removed from the marketplace, maybe it had like an invalid ID or something. I don't know. But what I do know is I cleared the resource pack.json file for the next map, and that made it not crash anymore, so I could actually show it to you guys. Welcome to Hell Bridge. So dramatic. Because this map's a little newer, all the signs are actually working, which is great. Something to do with the legacy to modern conversion process is what broke them, which this didn't have to go through. But yeah, just your basic organized storage chests all labeled and everything. Looks good. I like how the chests look like they're hovering because of the glass. There's a bed right in the middle, and then there's a wall of furnaces over here. Out front, you've got a farm with pumpkin, watermelon, beetroot, and potatoes, as well as wheat. Very standard. Out back, we have a barn dug into a mountain. On the right, we've got sheep. In the middle, we've got Minecraft Dungeons fans. And on the left here, we've got Minecraft Legends fans. Very nice. I thought this was going to be stairs down to a strip mine, but instead it's stairs down to a ravine, a very pretty and very dense one. It's even directly connected to an abandoned mine shaft. Absolutely amazing. Out front of the house, there's a minecart here on a powered rail with a switch, and it's the grand revival of Minecraft roller coaster. It's a minecart that does exactly what you would expect a minecart to do, which is go directly into a mine. I don't know why I've never done this before. Like, this was always an option. I could have always built this. I just never did. That's like the first time I ever made a minecart be a minecart. This chicken's about to get flattened and he just looks at me right in the eyes like, huh? I'm sorry that I love digging strip mines. I'm sorry. But yeah, if you were wondering, Hell Bridge actually is a bridge. Look at it. Look, it's beautiful. I like that the house is on a bridge. I liked that the barn was dug into a mountain. I liked the minecart thing. That was really cool. Okay, I have one more map and it's from 2021 and it's just called New World. I didn't even bother naming it. Looks like I'm gonna need to get an exterminator because we got a bad case of the puppies on my front lawn. Look at this goofy house. This looks so bad. I just threw all the animals into one pen and cat. I gave it a magenta color. It's perfect. This ugly house has a trapdoor in front of it. Let's take a look. Oh my God, it's a strip mine. I'm going to... At least I had the decency to hide it behind a trapdoor. There's my doorbell. Ha! Get it? It's a bell, it's above the door. I didn't have a reason to make the house this small, I just did it. I don't know why. There's a bed, there's some blast furnaces, some regular furnaces, crafting table, a map. To the side we have a wheat farm. On the second floor we have just a very claustrophobic storage chest area. And to the right there's an enchanting table area. There's a completely isolated nether room. Not sure why it's isolated, but it is. There's this weird square of dirt out in the ocean. Let's go see what that is. Oh my god, this is a Seth Bling boat ladder. That's what's up. For those unaware, this used to be, I don't know if it still is, but it used to be the fastest way to ascend. It doesn't actually lead to anything though, so I guess I was just practicing. But yeah, that's all the Minecraft I have to offer you today. Thanks for indulging me and looking at my weird old Minecraft worlds. Now it's time for the meta content. Welcome back to Love Letters featuring you. The P.O. Box address is in the channel's About page. Thank you to Gunyar for the lovely letter. To answer your question, a few years ago I changed my name from KK Clue to Planet Clue because it's easier to dictate verbally without needing to spell it out. Much love to you. Thank you to James for the lovely letter, a bootleg Famicom Transformers toy, a Love Scope keychain gadget, an MP3 pen, and a zine documenting Pac-Man bootlegs. These are exactly to my taste. You read me like a book, and I wish you the absolute best with your career. Make sure to keep your chin up. Thank you to Eli for the lovely letter and for the Magikarp. If you're looking for a cool Super Nintendo game to try, give Sanrio World Smash Ball a go. Thank you to Corey for this 6-game CD-ROM set for Windows 3.1 and MS-DOS. This is amazing. Thank you to Michael for the Dreamcast web browser, many fantastic CD-ROM titles, Winnie the Pooh Holiday Print Studio, Disney Magic Artist Studio, a My Arcade Famiclone thing, and this bizarre Transformers plug and play. You put a toy in there and press this button and I was genuinely amazed. Much love to you, Michael. Thanks for all the support. Thank you to everyone on patreon.com/clue. Thank you to everyone that sent stuff to my P.O. Box, which again is in the channel's About page. If you guys have any Y2K gadgets or weird old oddities going spare, you can send them right to my P.O. Box. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.